I don't want to set the world on fire.
For the third time, we're reminded that war never changes, but Fallout has. The post-apocalyptic RPG has jumped coasts to DC, dimensions to 3D, perspective to first person, and platforms to include consoles. It's all delivered by Bethesda, which bestowed the high fantasy Oblivion a few years back. Will the newest exodus from the vaults live up to its pedigree, or should it just duck and cover?
Bye.
Be prepared to take on the wasteland from cradle to grave. Actually, even earlier, with the game starting at your very own birth. From there, you experience a truncated adolescence living in Vault 101, a huge underground fallout shelter where generations have lived and died, shielded from the radiation and desperation of the outside's after the bomb challenges. It does a good job of masking character creation, shoehorning you in some tutorials, and setting the scene of Vault life. When you turn 19, you wake up to discover your father missing and his friend murdered by the tyrannical overseer of the Vault. It makes perfect sense to hightail it out of there and go questing for dear old dad in the morbid, violent world beyond the blast doors. It's a simple premise that quickly becomes complicated with tons of questions and objectives. Even the side quests are beefy, like little novellas that spiral out into full works of their own.
Oh my. Aren't you a stud?
There's some occasional iffy writing, but for the most part, it's a quality tale of a boy and his dog and some super mutants. Fallout 3 is massive, and once through the streamlined vault opening, the world becomes your mutated oyster. You can tramp through the wastes in search of fame and fortune, stumbling upon hundreds of locations, enemies, and treacherous terrain. Exploration can be overwhelming with so much to scavenge, kill, and loot. The pockets of civilization are also there to bequeath quests, offer a cot to rest your head, or provide shops and doctors who offer services and enticing narcotics. Just don't get addicted.
What do you need?
Your quests team up with your Pip-Boy, a combination PDA, flashlight, and FM radio, supplying maps, track points, and objectives, so when you're hell-bent on chipping away progress, you'll have a guiding light. Quests are multifaceted, large, and span across several locations. Along the way, you'll have to deal with plenty of enemies, locked doors, and computer terminals. This is where skills come in, and leveling, which allows you to do things like gaining an attribute point or getting special dialogue options with the opposite sex.
That's disgusting. I'm old enough to be your grandmother.
This is also where you improve skills that range from lockpicking to handling weapons. The game is so vast that the biggest problem is that it can all become overwhelming. Without the ability to mark your map, it's hard to remember where each high-level lock or group of super-powered enemies is. It's a rich world of content, and without multiple playthroughs using different character types, it's hard to see it all. A very flexible system does let you play What If, but there are few games with as much play per dollar as Fallout 3.